Psychology shows that intelligence is not only measured by grades, vocabulary, or test scores. Sometimes, it reveals itself in something much simpler, in the way a person thinks, in how they react to new information, in how they handle mistakes, in how willing they are to grow. Because low intelligence is not always loud. Sometimes it hides in small patterns repeated every day. And over time, those patterns quietly expose a weak mind. Here are 5 daily habits psychology links to extremely low intellectual engagement. 1. Never questioning information. One of the clearest signs of weak thinking is accepting information too easily. A person hears something, reads something, or sees something online and instantly believes it. No questions, no doubt, no analysis. Psychology shows that intelligent minds naturally question information. They ask, where did this come from? Is this source reliable? What evidence supports it? What motive might be behind it? But low-level thinking accepts claims at face value, especially when the information feels comfortable or confirms existing beliefs. That is how misinformation spreads. Because critical thinking starts with one simple habit: questioning what you hear. And when someone never questions anything, their mind becomes easy to control. 2. Constantly interrupting others. Interrupting is not just rude. It can also reveal something deeper. Psychology suggests that frequent interruption may reflect low cognitive patience. Why? Because understanding another person fully requires attention, restraint, and the ability to process before reacting. But people who constantly interrupt usually do the opposite. They rush to speak before they fully understand. They prioritize their response over the actual message. And that creates shallow thinking. Because real intelligence is not just about speaking well. It's also about listening long enough to understand what is actually being said. A weak mind wants to react. A stronger mind knows when to stay quiet and absorb. 3. Blaming everyone else. Another major sign of low intellectual growth is constant blame. Nothing is ever their fault. It's the system. It's their parents. It's their boss. It's bad luck. It's everyone except them. Psychology calls this externalization, the habit of pushing responsibility outward instead of reflecting inward. And this pattern is dangerous, because when a person never examines their own role in a problem, they never improve their thinking. Self-awareness is one of the foundations of intelligence. It takes maturity to ask, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? What part of this was my responsibility? But weak minds avoid those questions, because blaming others protects the ego, while self-reflection challenges it. 4. Avoiding mental effort. Daily life constantly gives people small chances to think, to read carefully, to solve problems, to learn something new, to sit with difficulty instead of escaping it. But people with extremely low intellectual engagement often avoid these moments whenever possible. They don't want to think harder. They don't want to learn deeply. They don't want to struggle with anything unfamiliar. They want easy answers, fast shortcuts, and minimum effort. But psychology makes this clear. The brain develops through challenge. Mental effort is not a burden. It is how the mind grows stronger. And when someone spends their life avoiding thought, their thinking stays weak. 5. No curiosity about the world. Curiosity is one of the strongest signs of an active mind. It pushes people to ask questions, to explore, to wonder, to understand. Without curiosity, the mind becomes stagnant. Psychology shows that curiosity activates learning systems in the brain. It drives discovery. It deepens understanding. It makes intelligence grow. But people with weak intellectual habits often stop at the surface. They don't ask why. They don't look deeper. They don't care to understand more than what is immediately obvious. And that is where mental stagnation begins. Because the moment curiosity dies, growth starts dying with it. Low intelligence is not just about what someone knows. It's about how they think every day. The refusal to question, the habit of interrupting, the need to blame, the avoidance of effort, the loss of curiosity. These patterns may seem small, but over time, they weaken the mind. The good news is that thinking habits can change. A person can become sharper. more self-aware, more curious, more intelligent, but only if they are willing to do one uncomfortable thing: challenge their own mind. And that is something weak thinkers rarely do. Subscribe to Mind Psychology Map for more powerful psychology videos about intelligence, behavior, and the hidden patterns of the mind.